For NY Up and Syracuse.com, this is Matt Parrino joined by Ryan Talbot, and we are going to be discussing Clemson defensive tackle Christian Wilkins today. A very impressive prospect and definitely somebody that's in the mix at number 9 in this year's draft. And, Christian Wilkins, a guy that as a junior tested the waters and went to the advisory board to see where he would go in the 2018 NFL draft, and they told him he was about a second-round pick. So he decided to go back to school, improve his stock, and that he did. This is a guy that causes constant chaos in the middle of the action, whether it be in the run game, whether it be chasing after the passer. Ed Oliver and Quinnen Williams are getting a lot of the headlines, but I think that Christian Wilkins, he may be a little bit undervalued in this draft because of how deep this whole thing is. And if the Bills end up getting him at 9, trading down and getting him, I think that it could be quite a coup for Brandon Beane.
Yeah, Wilkins, he's been mocked to the Bills in a few mock drafts. I don't want to say he hasn't been mocked to Buffalo at all, but he has kind of flown under the radar as a target for the Bills because, most defensive tackles that you see going to the Bills in these mock drafts have been Ed Oliver. He's been the first name. There's been some Rashawn Gary. So there's been some other guys there that have gone to the Bills more so than Wilkins. But Wilkins kind of fits the Brandon Beane character test in terms of he's a clean prospect. He is a locker room leader. He's very intelligent. He's a guy that graduated from Clemson in 2.5 years. And he's one of those guys where if you watch him, whether it was live, whether it's on film, you will never question his effort. So, there's a lot of reasons why he is a good fit for what Buffalo is trying to do in terms of the type of players they want to bring in terms of continuing to build that culture that they keep stressing. So he definitely fits the mold, but it's just kind of funny because he has kind of flown under the Bills' radar for the most part.
Mm-hmm. And, I think that this is another guy that potentially could be someone that comes in with a bit of a chip on their shoulder that I think that this regime really they like to see in their players. I mean, I think that this whole, city has that chip on his shoulder, but, Sean McDermott has kind of built this team and added a lot of people that, want to prove themselves. They want to prove that, they're a great player. I think LaShawn McCoy falls into that category, and I think this is a big proving year for him. But with Wilkins, you dial up the highlight tape, and, it jumps out at you how quick he is for his size on the interior and the way that he's able to just blow past, interior linemen. Obviously at the college level, it's not the same as at the NFL level, but you bring those traits to the next level, and I think the sky's the limit for what he can do at this league. And then you bring up, coaching and who he's going to be learning from, and Sean McDermott and Leslie Frazier. I think that they can do wonders. And, Kyle Williams is still going to be around the building. I mean, they said that in post-game press conferences and some of the final interviews that he did down the stretch last year, that he still wants to be a part of this organization. And you take a guy like Christian Wilkins, let Kyle Williams get in his ear for a little bit, and I think the sky's the limit for a guy like this. And I think if Oliver and Quinnen Williams aren't the pick or the Bills aren't able to get him, this would be a great consolation prize.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't bring the pass rush from the interior that Ed Oliver does, but there is still some ability there. He is great in terms of run defense. He's a solid tackler. He's a guy that is going to listen to the players around him. So, he'll listen to Jordan Phillips and Harrison Phillips and Star Lotulelei, and he'll want to become the best player possible. Like I said, the effort will never be questioned. He's a guy that I could see reaching out to Kyle Williams often. So he definitely has a lot of strengths to his game, a lot of things that kind of check the boxes for the Bills. And even if he doesn't have the same type of pass rush abilities as Ed Oliver, he showed the ability to bat passes in college. He had 15 passes defense, so he's that guy that kind of knows, well, hey, if I'm not going to be able to get to the quarterback, I'm going to get my arms up in the air when I see him getting ready to throw or deliver the ball, because I can make a play in that way and I can contribute in that regard. So definitely a lot to like about him. Maybe wouldn't be the defensive tackle that some fans would be hoping for, but would be a real solid pick for the Bills.
We will find out what that pick is Thursday night, 2019 NFL Draft. Guys, for all your Buffalo Bills content, keep it locked on the NY Up, Syracuse.com.